You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through.
Hello sports fans, I'm your host Nicholas Austin Holiday, and I'm here with Between Classes Sports, and I want to touch on a lot of great football action that happened this past weekend. First we're going to start off with all the Florida schools, the Florida States, the Miamis, the FAMUs, the Bethune-Cookmans. As we all know, Florida State has a bye week. They had a bye week, but the next game coming up is against Louisville. They're playing Louisville on a Thursday night. Thursday night games are always scary for Florida State. They had a bad loss 2 years ago on a Thursday night to NC State when they were ranked in the top 5 in the nation. So they're going into Louisville. Louisville has the #1 ranked defense in the nation. So that would be a tough test for Florida State to see how they're able to pull it out. Me personally, I think that the battle's going to go back and forth. Florida State's defense has had its troubles this season, but Louisville's offense doesn't look great either. So it's going to be a strength-on-strength type of game. Florida State's offense versus Louisville's defense. I think it'll be a great matchup, and I think it'll come down to the wire in the end. In the end, I'm going to pick Florida State to win, but I think it'll be a great game. Miami played Virginia Tech and beat them 30-6. Miami took complete control of the game from the beginning. Virginia Tech didn't really have a chance. Duke Johnson ended the game with 249 rushing yards. Duke Johnson ran all over Virginia Tech, and that's why Duke Johnson is one of the best running backs in not only the ACC, but in the country. Duke Johnson ran up and down the field. Now, what I will say is I'm not sure why Coach Al Golden and Coach Coley for Miami had Duke Johnson still in the game with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter when they had a commanding lead. That's the surest way to get one of your star players hurt. Miami can't afford to lose any of their players right now, and Duke Johnson is the most important player on their team. You need a Duke Johnson to be able to last the rest of the season. Duke Johnson's only about 200 pounds. So Duke Johnson's not, his body's not built to take a pounding throughout the whole season for 30 carries a game. So I understand that Duke Johnson is on pace to break records at UM as far as rushing yards go. But you have to be smart and think about your team for the long run. So you have to make sure to take Duke Johnson out when you have a commanding lead and when you can just go ahead and coast from there. But kudos to Miami on beating Virginia Tech. That was a big win in the Coastal Division for them. And they just keep going along. Right now, they control their own destiny in the coastal side of the ACC, and whoever comes out of that side looks like they're on a crash course to match up with Florida State in the ACC championship game. Florida had a bye week, which they really needed because they had a rough last game against Missouri. We all know right now Coach Muschamp is pretty much gone. Is it going to happen during the season? Is it going to happen after the season? But pretty much the entire Florida fan base and the entire football nation understands that Muschamp is pretty much out of time. But I want to see what Florida does this weekend coming up against Georgia. That's always a big rivalry game for them, played in Jacksonville, Florida. So I think that'll be a great game for Florida to possibly get back on track. But Georgia looks good. I know they filed to reinstate Todd Gurley back into the lineup. So if Todd Gurley comes back, who's currently the best running back in college football, that'll be a big game. He'll have a chance to put up a lot of yards. But the freshman they have, Nick Chubb, he coming off of a 200-yard game, he still has a chance to be something special. So that'll be an interesting game, but I'm going to pick Georgia to go ahead and take that win. USF, they lost to Cincinnati 34-17. USF's been up and down this year. You don't know really what to expect from them. Cincinnati's not that strong of a team, but they were able to beat USF pretty easily. Like I said in the last one, I think Willie Taggart has USF on the right track. It's going to take Willie Taggart time to get his scheme in place, get the players that he needs in place to really contend in the AAC. The AAC is not the strongest conference as it is, so I really think that USF has a chance to make a lot of noise in that conference. If you give Willie Taggart 2 or 3 years, they'll be really big. The thing is, will they give him that much time? But coming off of following Skip Holtz, they should give Willie Taggart as much time as he needs because Skip Holtz ran that program into the ground. but I really think they're on the right track. I think Willie Taggart is doing some great things in recruiting, and he's putting a good product on the field right now. They're just young. He has to get his players in, but I look for them to do some big things in the future. UCF defeated Temple 34-14. UCF is a pretty consistent team for the most part. They'll have their breakout years, but consistently they field a good team. So I don't expect any different from UCF. I always expect them to keep going along. Coach O'Leary usually has his guys prepared and ready to play. Every now and then he'll put some top draft picks in the NFL. Blake Bortles, Storm Johnson, a couple of guys that were just drafted off of their previous team where they won the BCS bowl game. So I look for UCF to keep doing big things, and I think they'll just keep trudging right along. They'll keep doing solid in recruiting, and player development is big for them, and they're really good at that. So I look for them to keep on going and keep on being strong. FIU had a bye week, but up next they play Rice. Rice is 4-3 right now. FIU is not really a good team right now, but you know what? I think I'm not really sure. FIU, I'm not sure why they let go of Mario Cristobal, who is now at Alabama as the offensive line coach, but he was pretty much the best coach that FIU has ever had. So you have to really evaluate your fan base. You have to evaluate your fan base and what your boosters are looking for, the alumni, the fans, the front office. What are you looking for in a coach? You don't just get rid of a coach like that to bring in another coach and to just have mediocre teams and keep losing. So I think that was a bad choice of them to let go of Cristobal, but Cristobal's doing great things in Alabama. He's their Florida recruiter, especially their South Florida recruiter. So you know what? They let go of a gem, but Alabama picked him up and it's working out great for them right now. FAU lost to Marshall 35-16. I think everybody expected that. Marshall, Rakeem Cato, one of the best quarterbacks in college football this year. He's extending his streak. The streak is his right now, and he's only extending it for games played with a touchdown pass. I don't know how long he's going to keep going, but I don't see him not throwing any touchdowns in his upcoming game. So I think he's going to keep the streak going until he's done. They have a really good team. They're still undefeated. Unfortunately for Marshall, their schedule is not strong enough to make it into the college football playoff, even though they're undefeated now and will probably go undefeated the rest of the season. At the end of the season, they'll probably be ranked somewhere in the teens. I don't even know if they'll crack top 10, but I think they'll be ranked somewhere in the lower teens. And, you know, that's good for them. They could be a BCS buster and play in a BCS bowl game. But unfortunately, they just don't have the schedule. They don't have the body of work to be able to make it into the playoff this season. FAMU lost to North Carolina A&T 40-21. FAMU they came off of 2 straight wins, and then they get beat up on pretty bad right now. I'm not really sure if FAMU's going in the right direction or the wrong direction. Did they get lucky? I'm not sure, but I want to believe in Coach Earl Holmes and what he's doing up there. I want to believe that he's bringing in the right recruits. He has the right system to fit the recruits he's bringing in. But you can't keep having Bethune-Cookman University just on a recruiting, doing great in recruiting, pulling in great JUCO players that transfer from D1 schools, because they're running right along, and that's not looking good for FAMU, especially when they play each other every single year in the Orlando Classic. Bethune-Cookman is probably going to put up big numbers on them this year, just like they did last year. But hopefully Coach Earl Holmes will have the team looking right, and hopefully they'll be on a good trajectory going up in the near future. So I look forward to that. FAMU, actually, their next game coming up is against Norfolk State, and that's their homecoming game. They have a good chance to win that game. Norfolk State is 3-5. FAMU's won 2 games so far, so it's a pretty evenly matched game. Neither one has a great record, but hopefully FAMU can pull it out. When you have homecoming, you have the big crowds there, family, friends, everybody comes. So good luck to FAMU in that game. Bethune-Cookman actually lost to South Carolina State 20-14, but that's only Bethune-Cookman's second loss of the season. Bethune-Cookman feels a strong team yearly, and they look to keep that going. One loss like this, that's not gonna slow them down. They're gonna keep going, and next week when they come out and play North Carolina Central, they're probably gonna come back out strong again, and that'll be a great battle and a good game to look at. Southeastern defeated Point University 47-10, blew them out. Southeastern continues to do very, very well. And for the next game, they play Weber International for the conference championship game. So whoever comes out of that game will win the conference. Southeastern has looked really, really good this year. And you know what? I think I look for them to win the conference. That'll be very big for them, but I think they can pull it out. Speaking of some of the lower level football teams in the Pioneer Football League, Jacksonville University, who's currently 6-1 and 5-0 in conference, they are doing great right now. They're coming off of a bye week right now, but I think they're going to do really good. I think they have a chance to win out possibly. We'll see how everything plays out and how the chips may fall. But they're looking really good right now, so I want to say good luck to them in the future. And right now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'll get into the top 25.
You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through, no slacking. Make it happen, we grinding hard, we grinding hard. You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through, no slacking. Make it happen, we grinding hard, we grinding hard. You know how we do when we have funky music in our ear. We get to writing, ain't no fighting, we just in there trying to win. Ooh yeah, la-di-da, we grinding hard. Ooh yeah, we not gonna stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Too late to turn back now. I got work to do. On a mission, by my business, I'm pushing through,